Hello, friends. It's us, Tiff,
and Sarah,
bringing you Conversations in a Jar, where we pull random topics to get the conversation started.
Yes. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
You want to grab your drink? Well,
Yeah.
cheers.
It's been a long time no see.
Yeah.
Dink.
Chink.
Chink.
Coffee today.
Mine is water with palm juice.
Yum. Is it sparkly water?
No, it's just regular
Just water.
Yeah.
Got it.
Get my vitamin C in.
Yeah.
Helps you poop. Pomegranate juice is super good for you.
Pomegranate juice is super good for you. I didn't know it made you poop, though.
Makes me poop. Maybe it's the water flushing everything out. I don't know, but it tastes really good.
You drink a ton of water. I don't think it's the water.
Yeah, I do drink a ton of water.
You drink a ton of water.
Mm-hmm. I do. I try. It's hard sometimes. Sometimes I just don't want to fucking drink water. So I have to put palm juice in it. So I just fly through it when I do that and just done.
Yeah. That makes...
I love lemon water. Lemon water is the best. It's good for my tummy. I just love it.
Oh, ever since I started drinking, I see your 10 lemons right there.
Oh.
Lemon and ginger tea in the morning. That ginger, did I send you the link to you, the ginger that I was... They're in little tea packets.
I don't
dried
know.
ginger.
Yes, you did
and
actually.
Yeah.
Because you brought it to the office and I was like, what is that? And it's ginger in a tea bag. Mm-hmm. I took a food allergy test and I'm highly allergic to ginger, but I love it. I didn't know that. I don't feel any type of way. I don't think.
I bet you get inflammation inside your body that you're just
I think I get that. I think I sniffle a lot. And I didn't know that. And wine. I can't do wine. Red wine. Bad.
Oh, no.
And then I'm like, if I drink one glass, I'm not a drinker, but wine does it to me.
Oh, that would make me so sad.
Yeah. They're so pretty. I like the whole idea of wine. Just how elegant it is, how it just brings people together, the gathering of it. Mm-hmm. I think that's what I like about wine. I think drinking is that same way. And I don't necessarily...
Well, remember we went out and we had those like spritzers, the botanical... You had the botanical...
Yeah, they're still in there. The recess and the...
Is that what they had down at the wine place? No.
Oh, you mean when we had our event?
Yeah.
That's just like...
Do they make them? Because they had... What was the one that they made me?
I don't know.
Lavender? I don't think... No, was it?
I don't think so. It's rosemary.
Rosemary.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love that drink. Good. That was really good. I like when they mix stuff like that together.
Oh, so good. Yeah. And you had the botanical. And I didn't like it as much. I'll bet you there's ginger in there, though.
Probably.
It tasted like... I like ginger, but I think yours
too.
had probably... You need to keep an eye on that if you're allergic to ginger.
I mean, I don't need like an EpiPen or anything. It just bothers me. But like ice cream, I go down on ice cream like it's my job. And then I shit my pants. While
sitting on the toilet.
Yeah. It flows through me.
I started developing an allergic reaction to grapefruit.
No.
I know.
There goes Palomas.
I know. I still drink them.
I had a couple of them.
I feel like the tequila will save me.
It will.
Because I was, when we were before IVF and everything, I was like getting all super healthy, everything organic, whatever. I would have a half a grapefruit in the morning, every morning. So good for you.
It's so good. Period. I love grapefruit.
Then all of a sudden, like my tongue started going numb. And I was like, that's weird. And like 2 days later, it would be my tongue, and then my lips went numb. And I was like, this is so weird. Last time, one of the teachers, I was in the break room, and the teacher that I was working with, she was like, you probably need to stop eating that. You're developing an allergic reaction to it. And I was like, oh my God, no. What am I going to do? Because I don't know. It's such
citrus.
I
love citrus.
Yeah. But so I'm just really careful. I don't have it very often anymore.
I love a good grapefruit with sugar on top.
Ugh, Palomas and Greyhounds.
Really good. I don't know what that is.
Vodka and grapefruit juice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a screwdriver, but with grapefruit juice instead of orange juice.
Is that what a screwdriver is?
Yeah, vodka and orange juice.
Oh.
You're not a drinker.
I know. I didn't know what those, I don't know the names either.
Yeah.
But those are,
yeah. So that's a bummer. But then I just switched to wine because
the wine's
it's easy.
pretty.
Yeah. No mixers. You just pour and go.
Yeah.
It's my style.
I want to drink wine in Italy, personally.
Wow.
Because that's a game changer. The wine in other countries is just different than it is here.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to experience that.
All the, yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
Okay.
Bucket list.
Let's
put it on the vision board.
Are we ready to draw a topic?
I think we are.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's go. Your ring looks pretty with that color on today.
Thanks. Slide around a bit. Let's see. What are we drawing today, ladies and gents?
Oh.
Okay. This is so this is what we wrote. Alpha versus beta men. What characteristics do women expect from a man? From a man. Those like in the quotes, man.
That, you know what makes me think of, like, what is that? Toxic masculinity. That's that, right?
What is that? Explain that.
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
My understanding of it, I could be wrong, but what I understand what people are meaning by that when they're saying that is like those, like, boys don't cry, boys will be boys, like all of those really,
don't feel.
Oh yeah.
I was talking about that with Greg in the bathroom this morning a little bit.
Look at that. I feel like that happened last time you pulled one and it was like right on topic of what we were talking about.
The stars align. Oh no, you're fine. I've never heard of the toxic man thing, but I do think that there's, we never really talk about like the pressures that are put on men, probably because we're women and we're worried about our own pressures, but there is a certain amount of big pressure on a guy, right?
Really big. Yeah.
And I feel I can speak about this in a different lens just because, I was alone with my 2 kids and you have to be everything.
Yeah.
And there are moments where, I'm putting up a fucking ceiling fan. I'm like, oh, I need a man for this. Or, got to mow the lawn, which I like doing. But that's kind of like there are certain roles that we put guys in.
Yeah.
It's not that we can't do them. It's just nice when they can do them, like hanging up a picture.
Yes.
Or doing all the fun stuff that you want to visually see, but you don't want to do the work. Like I want to shelf there and I'm like, where's Greg?
That's a blue job, not a pink job.
Yeah, kind of. But then I love a lot of masculine things. I love. I do like mowing the lawn and I do like tractoring the acreage out there. That's so fun for me. And I do like 4-wheelers and I like to run over shit and I like to hawk loogies. And that I hawk loogies 88 times a day and there has to be a spin
like
and a launch.
Functional, more than for fun, but
so but it's crazy. There are certain things that men have to hold down financially. There's a big shift in that with women right now.
Yeah.
But now that we're doing it, it's like, gosh, imagine the pressure of all, like I've had that pressure of everything is reliant on me. Everything is dependent on if I show up to work today, how much money I make, how am I paying the bills? I've got to take care of my little ducks, so.
Yeah. I think it's funny. It came up in our morning too, this morning, Josh and I, a picture I have on my phone. It's like, let me see if I can get to it really quick. Okay. It is,
I don't even know how to do that.
Hold on. Where is it at? This one.
Aw.
Okay. This is St. Patrick's Day, 2011. Okay. So we're like newly dating, long time ago. And I remember that was the first time he drove my car. And
good subject.
Yeah, he drove my car, and because the guy I was dating before him could not drive my car because my car was a manual. And I love driving a stick. I love it. Same. It's so powerful.
You feel part of the car.
Right. So, and my boyfriend before him could not drive a stick, didn't know how. And it was fine. It wasn't that big of a deal. But if we like went out, he could not drive home. Like I just knew I would be always driving home. And if we took my car.
This is like an ick moment, isn't it?
Well, once Josh was driving my car, we were going to the bar in my car, and mostly because he had a Ford then, and I was like,
you and your Fords, lady.
Yeah, and as raised a certain way. My dad's a car guy. He's a Chevy guy.
That's okay.
And I was like, a light went. Josh was like, I don't remember having that conversation then. I was like, we didn't have it then. I like mentally was like, oh, he can drive my car. And I remember going to work like the next day or whatever, and my work mom, love her to death. Yeah, I told her, I was like, he can drive my car. And she was like, Sarah, you cannot marry a guy that can't drive a stick. And I'm like, you're right, Deb. You are right. And that was like, he added to the list, right? Like, gotta have a good smile, gotta be funny, gotta drive a stick, gotta, no smoking, like all those like little things. And that was the thing with Josh. It was like, I kept adding, I'm like, oh, that should be on the list. Oh, he does this, that should be on the list.
Yeah.
He like created the list, but it was like those masculine things that you're like looking for.
I think that is a masculine thing. Like, if I can drive a stick, why the fuck can't you? Like, my balls cannot be bigger than yours if I'm a lady.
But nowadays, there's not many cars. Now it's all like Triptronic, like fake sticks. They're not even real.
I hate that.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than, I learned how to drive on a stick shift. That's how I learned. And I think just obviously I was born in 1980, so most cars, and wasn't it funny when you
had to pay more to get it automatic?
I know, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, and so, oh no, it's fine, but it's true. You had to pay more because it was like, not everybody can drive a stick, and I'm like, oh, but I can. And my grandpa was like, no, and my mom was like, it's a non-negotiable. You need to learn how to drive a stick.
It's a safety thing because my mom was like, I want you girls to. My mom doesn't know how. And she's like, if you're ever out on a date or anything and you need to take the car and go and whatever, like you need to know how to drive any vehicle you're in.
I know.
Like, agree.
And it's the easiest thing to do because it's just like you driving home naturally. You just, like, the right marks.
So it was kind of hard for me to learn. I had to have my dad, he drew out the engine. I was like, what is it doing when I push the pedal? The clutch, right? What is it doing? What is it doing? Like once I knew in my head, I could see what the engine, what the mechanics was doing, then I could get the rhythm. And that's all I needed. He like drew out the picture for me and I was like, done. And then he gave me my first lesson and it was fine. Yeah. Like once I understood the mechanics of it, it made sense. You open the door, you put, right? And then you slowly close the door.
Yeah.
Basically. Like
my mom we were in a church parking lot and she just said, okay, when you feel that shift, and then I was like, got this.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
But it was hard at first. And I think, isn't that funny? Like we have this expectation that guys should know how to do that. But I think for the time that we were born and all the different things we've seen and gone through, it is kind of a safety thing. You just should know how to do it.
Well, now I'm like, I'm going to have to go buy a car that is a stick so I can teach my boys how to drive a stick shift because I don't own one anymore.
I don't know I'm sure you can find one. Watch them be classics and now they're expensive. That would be funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
my dad restores classics. I wonder if any of his are manuals.
I don't know. But I think there's lots of things in the world that we like push on guys. Or, I mean, for me, I love that my husband is, I wouldn't call him metro. I mean, he's a clean guy. I love that. And I think what's weird is the men that grew up with me in my life or the men that have been in my life, they were always tinkering around. They were mechanics. They were, my dad was in a blues band, but he also did construction and he also could work on cars. And so my guys always, like the guys I grew up around, always smelled like gasoline and cigarettes and
I love the smell of gasoline
and whiskey or like my grandpa smoked a pipe, right? So tobacco and all those things to me just scream
masculine
men, and their nails are never clean. I mean, they clean them.
Yeah.
But you always
like
have some film that says, oh, I know what you were doing, right? Like I always knew. And they always, and beer is such a man drink in my eyes. It's just like, men don't drink water. They drink Coors Light. It's yellow water. Like, you know what I mean? It's just that type of masculine thing. And then, you know, men have to wake up every day and grind and work and bring home the money. And women have this sort of unspoken responsibility to make sure that their lunch is made and their shirts are, you know, like we as women nurture and take care of these men. And then these men, we want them to show up and do all the man things.
Yeah.
And now it's so different. And we've got, you know, gay men that are more feminine. And sometimes they do it better than us. It's a little irritating. But, you know, we have these men that are able to embody their feminine side and stay clean and wear the nice crisp shirts and show up like a gentleman, kind of like we show up, right? Like, my husband is never going to leave this house, and I love this about him, without looking fly. He always matches the shoes. Everything matters to him. I love that about him. But that would be considered more of a feminine quality, because men don't have, they don't have to do that. Men get to just show up.
Well, if you think about, I don't know. I feel like the blue collar versus like a white collar job, there's a huge difference there. But
That's true.
Both are very masculine. But like a white collar, think about Suits. Like, did you ever watch that show?
Sexy. Of course, I watched Suits.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
So, but think of that. Like, they have to show up. Presentation is important, right? And
there's so many different masculines. Like you talk about Suits. What about a cowboy? There's nothing better than a man that walks in with Wranglers, dusty boots, and a cowboy hat. He's been doing some shit. So. He's been doing some shit all day.
Yeah. And
I love that. My grandpa was like that. But here's the thing about my grandpa. He is so masculine.
Yeah.
Went through Nom and all of that, but that man's jeans are starched to the point where they could stand on their own.
Yeah.
You will never find his clothes wrinkled ever. Ever, ever, ever. He always smells so good. Same smell for the rest of his life. And that's all he'll wear. And washes his hands with Irish Spring.
Yeah.
You know, like the soap or the lava doesn't exist. We have some in here, but you know, it's just not something you used to see. But like growing up, lava and Irish Spring, that was the shit. That was the man shit.
Right.
Don't wash your face with Irish Spring. I'm surprised I can still see to this day, because that shit'll like ruin your retinas.
Still uses Irish
It smells
Spring.
so good. It reminds me of my grandpa.
Yeah.
You know, and like
so good.
It does. And then what about the Barbasol?
Smells good when
Barbasol,
the shaving
cream.
Yeah.
Like that's a man thing for me. I see that and I think of my grandpa and my dad and how much I would steal their shaving cream because it's way better than ours.
Yeah.
You know? And just the hot towel. My grandpa always goes to the barber and, you know, he's got no hair. So they just, you know, trim the little bit, but he is like a well-kept man, but you will never find him not busy. He'll be mowing, looking this way, smelling every day he gets up. And maybe it's a military thing, but consistency is key in a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Wakes up and gets ready, smells good, dresses the same way every day with his jeans and his belt buckle and his wife beater underneath his button-down shirt, and he will mow and tractor and fix cars and find a big piece of wood and whittle it into something that you're like, oh my God. Like he made an Indian chief one time. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
In a day, in 4 hours, you just whittle this fancy thing that people would pay thousands of dollars for, all dressed like that to the nine, smoked cigarettes, had his little, you know, everything, his wallet and everything was in the same pocket, always went in the right pocket. His things
Yeah.
went in the back. Like, so I think when we really stop to like think about masculine things, I think there's always been a little bit of a feminine put together side to men that we don't really acknowledge.
Well, I don't know that I would say that's a feminine thing.
Okay, why?
I think that's just a pride, like having, I think every human should take pride in the presentation that they're giving. I don't know that that's a feminine thing.
Okay, I'll tell you where I'm going with that and how I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I think there's a societal norm. If a guy wakes up in his pajamas and his hair's a fucking mess and he's got a beard and he just throws on his chanclas and leaves, cool. No one really is like, okay, that's not a put together man. But if a woman did that, they'd be like, oh my God, what is this woman doing showing up with crazy hair?
I don't know. You don't think people look at that guy and it's like, oof.
I think it's more acceptable than a woman showing up in pajamas and not looking kept. I mean, do you ever go out looking exactly how you did when you woke up? I always throw a cap on and shit.
Yeah, I'll throw a hat on.
Yeah.
For sure. Like you should see me when I in the parent drop off line sometimes.
Oh yeah. Same.
Yeah.
And I always throw on a jacket because if I'm not wearing a bra, no one needs to see all that.
Right.
They don't need to see how low they really go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I do think like men, there is this air
They've
about
got
them.
less to do. They throw a hat on and they're done.
Yeah, there's an air about it where men have a little bit of a pass on those things because they're just so damn simple. They don't.
Well, but how is doing those things feminine?
I think because I think of a woman and I think, gosh, I've got to do my hair and then, maybe a little mascara, maybe a little brush. I'm looking a little pale and I definitely need chapstick. And, oh, well, that shirt doesn't match my pajamas. I only wore it to bed because it's comfortable. I've got to change that. And it's just like how you show up. And so I think women have a requirement and people in society to, when they leave that house, they're put to, and I'm from Texas, women I've never seen women wear pajamas to the grocery store like I do here. Women leave and they are together. Maybe not 100% like they're going to a cocktail party, but together. Wow. I don't see, like my grandpa, I guess. Yeah, but I mean, my son is a great example. He will wake up and wear some banana like pajama pants to Crumble Cookie to wherever, and he don't give a fuck. I don't know a lot of girls who do that, and I think I'm being a little judgy.
I see kids walking, like, just when the high school gets out, and you see all the kids walking, you would be surprised.
They look crazy. I always felt
that. I feel like kids don't count. Kids don't count. When they get into adulthood and jobs and
they're
more
figuring
expectations. It out. That's. I mean, what do you expect out of a guy though? A man?
Yeah.
I want them to take the garbage out. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. It stinks. I don't want to do it.
I do it all the time.
I don't want to. I do everything else. I don't want to do that. I want to do the garbage. And that's kind of it. That's the only thing that... All I will say, though, Josh and I are doing a really, really good job at not having, like, gender role chores in the home. Like, Josh cooks and he helps clean. I cook and I help clean. And we both do bath time. And we both do laundry. And we both do... You know what I mean? Like, I don't want our boys to think that it's all my job, being the mommy or the woman. I don't want them to think that those are all pink chores and they do the blue chores. Like, our society just doesn't work that way anymore.
No, it doesn't. It's definitely evolved. However, it goes back to like the fact that women had a place and men had a role, and women had a role back in the day when it started, and we don't have those roles anymore. We
because
do
women
everything.
went to work.
We work
outside of the home.
Right. And so I think alpha male versus beta, that's hard because I think like men are having to do both. They're stay-at-home dads now. Does that make them more
The
beta
beta?
than alpha? Because I'm sorry, I don't want to sleep on that. I don't think staying home with the kids and keeping up a
We
house
know
is
that is
easy.
way harder than going and getting a paycheck. I will tell you, on the days that, like, if I'm home, cause say like no childcare for a week or whatever,
Right.
and I'm doing that like stay at home role more. Now, granted, I also am working from home, so I'm doing both jobs.
Right.
But I'm like, I cannot wait to go back to work and not have to do all of this solo.
Yeah.
Because it is being a stay-at-home mom or just a homemaker, homekeeper, whatever, like, and raising the kids is a way harder job than going out into the adult world and having adult conversations and with people that are responsible for their own feelings and their own, like, you know what I mean? Like that, it's just so different.
I feel like when you're talking about that, I think about how and I think it's good stress, like to keep a home clean, cool. There are certain things about raising kids and trying to function, work, and keeping things clean and picked up and getting the Amazon packages from the front door and like all this constant wheel. Like the household's never still. We've got 2 dogs. It just keeps going and going.
Yeah.
And then you've got like the guys when they're not here or whoever is working or the girls that aren't here and they get to go and work. And I think there's something about the shut off time. And when you're doing what you just explained, it's so constant. There's no break in a sense.
My job, there is no off for a real estate agent.
Right.
So like I do try and be really more mindful and I communicate my hours and stuff with my clients, but not all agents function in that way. And so I can get messages from another realtor at 9 or 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night. I don't answer them because that is not working hours and it shouldn't be expected. I don't think.
That's not
I
in
will
my
get
world.
right back at you at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We're a little different, but you know that. I also don't have littles like that. And I think it just depends. But I guess my point in bringing that up is just, the world has shifted so much to where men and women are pretty much, for the most part, juggling the same thing. Like Greg works, he's always on. When he's not here, he's at the office working, all of that. When he comes home, he needs to relax. But he does his fair share of, picking up and also messing up just like we do.
Yeah.
And it takes both of us sometimes because you just have that generalized, like, fuck it. I've just been going and going all day. My body needs a fucking pause.
Yeah.
Back in the day when women just had to work and when women had to take care of the kids in the household and then men worked and that's all they had. I mean, we didn't have Amazon then. You didn't have cell phones. You cleaned the house. You made sure dinner was prepared. Lunches were prepared. Grocery shopping was done. Gosh, I think this is where the stigmatism comes in of, oh, how nice it would be to be a stay-at-home.
Comes in your eyeballs.
Okay, well, what is the word then?
A stigma.
A stigma. Close enough. I think that then if I had just to make the beds, do the laundry, fold the laundry, put it away, cook dinner, and all of that, that's exhausting on its own.
Yeah.
But I feel things might have been executed a little bit more in those realms because that was it.
Well,
we have to answer the phones. We have to social media shit. We have to check emails. We have cell
exactly
phones.
What it is. It's the social media is what has put the pressure on because comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
And you're constantly looking at this mom doing everything that I have to do? How come she's doing it better or whatever, right? Like,
she's so organized. She has
look
all the
how,
Amazon
and her
finds.
house is pristine and her house is perfectly or like decorated or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, oh, her kids' outfits are coordinating or their haircuts are like, you know, because then I'm just this morning, I'm like, oh, these kids need haircuts. I'm
Right.
like, oh, it's been about 4 weeks. It's time. I'm like, why don't I just have it scheduled every 4 weeks? But
because it's an easy shave. It's an easy thing to put on the back burner when you have other things to
right.
do. It's all about managing life and lifing, fucking lifing. If you text that to me one more time, I'm like, yes.
Life is lifing. Life is lifing.
I feel like we got way off topic though.
Well,
Alpha versus beta.
Yeah.
I don't know what I expect.
Well, I don't
everything's
understand.
50-50
okay, alpha
now.
versus beta men. What characteristics do women expect from a man?
Like, what do we want from a man? I definitely want my man to be a good lover. Okay, be good at that.
Read my mind. That's what women want.
Read my mind.
Good luck, men. That's what I say.
I don't know. I feel like Greg can read my mind. But he knows when I'm upset, even when I'm like, I'm like, not
read
upset.
my body language. Know that I'm upset.
And when I say go away, I mean, I want you to fucking work for me like a bitch. I want you to grovel at my feet and be like, I can't have you upset. You're the most important thing in my life. Why are you upset? Tell me, what can I do? That's what I want. Is that what
my 3-year-old wants? And he's like, go away.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not.
I don't think so.
It's not.
I think he'd really just
go away.
Want some space.
Not me. When I tell Greg, I'm mad at you, go away. I really want him to fight with me because I miss him. I don't like fighting with him. That's the one person that I'm just like, I do not want to fucking fight with you. And Gabby and Vinny, I hate fighting with them. I don't like being in that space. You know?
I haven't really had fights with my kids yet. Like Ben and...
But you know what?
They're too little. But...
You know what I think, like, for a man is I want protection. I want strength. I want, you know,
that's
I like
alpha man.
I like when Greg like flops me over his shoulder and carries me upstairs. Don't ask me when he's done that. It's never, but mentally it sounds great. You know, I'm sure he would try. But I think, you know, for me, I want a alpha man. I want a man that's like, that's my motherfucker. He's got my back. He looks great with a machine gun in case the whole world goes tits up and we're in a Mad Max era. I want to know he's that crazy guy that's like, I'm going to put black paint under my eyes and I'm going to shoot this motherfucker that's trying to harm you. I want a guy that like puts the ceiling fans up or hangs up my shelves, you know, someone that rustles and tussles with me that makes me feel like, oh, I'm just such a girl. You know, I love that feeling because I was a single mom. And when you are all of those things, you are definitely in a lot of masculine power, a lot of masculine energy, not power, but you're doing all of it. And so you're paying the bills and you're grinding and you're working and you're mowing the lawn and you're doing all of these things. And sometimes there's this feeling in your body, and maybe you agree, where you're like, I just want a man to do that stuff. I want to watch my man out there, you know, with his belly hanging over his jeans, mowing the lawn, you know, as the sun glistens on his body. I don't know. Like those are the things. And I'm going to bring him some lemonade. It allows us, when men are alpha, it allows us to be feminine and have so much really feminine energy.
That feminine energy. That's what I love, those opportunities to really get into that. Like, because I feel like being a boss, you know what I mean? Like running your own business and stuff, you're in that more masculine energy.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting.
Yeah. I just
those men, like, are they exhausted? Yeah. Their masculine energy all the time. I feel like we haven't even gotten into the load that men carry, but I know it's big.
Men carry lots of loads, especially if they haven't ejaculated in a long time. You
know,
oh
God. Okay.
They do. You got to suck the poison out, Sarah. Lighten the load.
You can always bring it right back there.
Yeah. I'm in my masculine energy. Just kidding. Is that it? That's all we got to say?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah. That's it.
And that's that.
And that's that.
We need you guys to
subscribe
your asses off, okay?
It helps get our page noticed and get us
updates.
More followers.
Then you know about updates.
Right. So make sure you subscribe so you get notifications every time a new episode launches.
And when a new episode launches, Sarah's going to make out with you. What? That's a win. That's how we get more subscribers. I whore you out.
That is not how we get more subscribers.
I know Josh is going to be so mad at me. My bad.
Oh my God.